Yo, what up, sports fans? You're tuned into the Culdesac on the hottest live radio. Your boy Big Mike in the building along with G Nice today. What up, G Nice?
What's good? I'm excited. Playoffs.
Hey, man.
Playoffs.
It's down to the games to really mean something now.
Oh, it definitely is. These are the 8 teams, the 4 games that matter the most. That these are the teams that battle the hardest, and these are definitely Super Bowl bound opportunity teams.
Yeah, and get rid of the frauds. So I'm saying it's that type of year.
Yeah. I mean, Wild Card definitely showed us who look like they could be playoff contenders, but weren't really playoff contenders. And now we have the 8 teams that definitely can make a big impact, a big Super Bowl run.
Yeah, man. I was disappointed last week in the ending of the season for the Raiders. They did great things this year. The injury got them, though. I mean, the injury really shut them down this year.
Well, you definitely show that Derek was definitely the main puzzle piece for that team.
Yeah,
he definitely was that the purpose of why they were where they were, and going down not just your starting quarterback, but going down your backup quarterback to a new quarterback. It definitely was a struggle for that team.
Yeah, and they still found a way to kind of to scrap through that game. I mean, you didn't get a sense that they thought that they were out of it, although, they had every reason to throw in the towel.
Oh, I agree with you. But it definitely proves to you that, if you look at the teams that have made it, the one thing they all have that other teams that haven't made it is a running game.
Absolutely.
The fact that they can throw the ball is just top notch, but the real factor is the fact that when they can't throw the ball, they can run.
Yeah. And I said that they've got next season to look at. It looks like today we just got information saying that they are actually going to be moving to Las Vegas.
That is going to be an interesting move, and it's going to bring a lot of money their way. In the aspect is people are they come to Vegas to spend money, and now they're going to come to Vegas and spend money and watch you at the same time. So definitely going to bring some different change in that.
Do you think that's going to affect the team as far as they've had a lot of history there in Oakland? I mean, they had a lot of history there. You have the Al Davis mystique going on. You're embarking on something totally new out there in Vegas. How do you think that's going to affect the team? I think
they lose a fan base a little bit because, Oakland is definitely a strong fan base with any of their sports teams. But I think they kind of gain an image, allowing players to come. It's another area to be marketable, and Oakland isn't as marketable as Las Vegas is. And Vegas is huge.
Out of it too.
Yes. And Vegas is huge and puts you on a different platform. I just hope Oakland doesn't lose, or the Raiders don't lose, the grittiness that's always been the Raiders.
Yeah, their hallmark.
That's what makes the Raiders who they are, and that's what made them this year. They were offensive power, but even in the offensive power, they were gritty on offense, they were gritty on defense. They just were able to grind with teams, and going to Vegas, I don't want them to lose that.
Yeah, true. So, Raiders fans, we're going to be looking in on you next season. Y'all had a great season this year. Like I said, if it wasn't for the injuries, I think y'all would have still been in it. They were my solid number 2 team in the AFC, just a little bit ahead of Pittsburgh, and I'm sure Pittsburgh licked their chops, so they knew they were done and out of it.
Oh man, as a Pittsburgh fan, yes, when I saw Oakland fall down, I was like, this is nice. Don't get me wrong, don't want Derek Carr to really be hurt. I'm liking seeing the quarterback battle that he brings to the league right now. But at the same time, it gives my team a free pass to make it into the next round.
How about that? Let's jump on one thing real quick before we get into today's games and tomorrow's games. What do you think about the way the season ended for the Giants?
Season ended the way it started. It's just a giant mishap through the whole entire thing.
A giant mishap.
And I don't even know how to explain it any better. There is no coalition with that team. Odell Beckham is still acting like he's 16. Eli Manning is still Eli Manning of being inconsistent. They don't have a running game. They have a good defense, and that's pretty much what they've been known for I don't know how long they've been. And I think even in their Super Bowl runs, their defense is what kept them there. The offense got almost lucky in some of the plays they got that made happen for them to continue to push through those games. So it's just the Giants all over again. And it's sad because you look at their offensive power, just their offensive power of wide receivers, they have possibly the best 3 wide receiver tandem that could have happened, but didn't happen. Maybe that is because of a lack of a running game, or maybe that is the lack of Eli's inconsistency. I can't really pinpoint what it is. It's just it hurts to see that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a Giants fan, it had to be frustrating watching them throughout the season. You almost get a sense of they can't turn the corner. You know, you got Odell, and Odell had his issues, the neck and everything else at the early part of the season. But he started doing well. He started catching the balls that he should. You got the sense that they were about to turn the corner. I mean, Eli was playing well. He wasn't making the mental mistakes that he's been known and prone for. But it gets down to the playoffs, and here those inconsistencies start coming in back, creeping once again.
I really think that there's so many distractions on that team, and there's no veterans to kind of pull them back together. Don't get me wrong. New York City is a huge place to party place. You're always going to go party. You're always going to be out and about. You're always going to go do the things you want to do in that city because it's always alive. But when it comes on the playoff time, I really feel like you need to buckle down and cut all that out. And do the fact you guys, all the wide receivers flew out to Miami to have a little boat thing. And look at guys, that to me, that doesn't show a true elite player, doesn't show a true dedicated player, because you're doing way too much, and it's distracting you and distracting the team.
And the media ate them up.
I mean, we probably wouldn't have said anything, of course, if they had won. But they didn't, and they played worse than normal, and so it just leads on to that aspect. I think as a player, hopefully an elite player, or even as a veteran player on that team, would have stopped and said, guys, how else can we figure out to bring camaraderie amongst the team locally?
And do you think that Eli at some point has to be more forceful with, being the leader of this team? Because Odell Beckham by default seems to be the leader of this team, which is one of the problems.
I don't know if Eli can. I don't know if that's in Eli's DNA. I don't think Eli is that leader. I think Eli is more the performer, not the leader.
So who gets them right?
They need to bring somebody veteran in. Something veteran. For years it's been a defense. A defensive player has done something and to bring them. Shannon, Barber, somebody has stepped in and told them how to be an elite team and how to act. They don't have that right now. So maybe a veteran something, a veteran wide receiver, a veteran running back, something that can sit down with the team and tell them this is how we get things done.
And I agree with you, because one of the things that you looked at with that game at the very start of the game, you got Odell and them out there at Lambeau running around with shirtless, doing all the rest. See, a real leader's going to tell you, oh, man, come on. Pull yourself together. This is not what we do. When we look at
the NFL's best players ever, tell me when one player of those have ever been sent around. I don't remember Jerry Rice ever running out there.
Absolutely not.
Joe Montana, Dan Marino. I mean, we can even go even sooner than later. We can say, we can say Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Soon to be, I can see him being a Hall of Famer player, but I never seen him run out there, shirt off, doing all this extra things in the aspect. So, but he came to perform because he was focused. When you're doing all those other things, I feel like they distract you.
See, and that's my thing. Now, if Tom Coughlin would have been the coach, that wouldn't have happened. Tom wouldn't have had that.
No, Tom wouldn't allow that to happen. He would have allowed it to happen locally, and which I probably would be more, as a media aspect, I've probably been more okay with. Because like I said, you're in primetime New York. I expect you to go out before and after games. It's just what you do. But I don't expect you to travel that far to do what you did to have that bad of a game.
Yeah, and all the while, Aaron Rodgers is sitting on the sideline talking about, I'm going to show you how to do this, son.
I'm going to put it this way. Aaron Rodgers has made I called it a Babe Ruth call the other day. A couple weeks ago, or a while back ago, he told everybody, don't worry about it. We're going to run the table.
Run the table.
And that, to me, that's like a baseball player pointing his finger to the wall and telling you, I'm going to take this pitch and hit it out of the park.
Yeah.
And he is doing it right now.
Well, the same one of the RELAX. Same one from the Hail Mary. That's not really a Hail Mary. Oh, I meant to do that.
Oh, man.
You can't put that in any type of context any better.
I'll put this out there. He is one of the best quarterbacks overall that I probably have ever seen play football.
Yeah.
Only because not only can he throw a ball, but he can move out of the pocket. He can fit it between two people. He can throw it off balance and be on target. He can win a game for you. And there's a lot of things, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, there's a lot of things that they all did really, really well to make them as good as they are. And Aaron Rodgers is embodied in it. It's all in him. And
Absolutely.
For Aaron Rodgers, realistically from here, it's nothing but up. And if he can harness that and he can see that, he could be the next greatest quarterback to play the game.
Yeah, see, the thing that separates me with Aaron Rodgers is his ability to pull the team back from the brink. The ability to pull them back from adversity. Because you got to think, in the last couple of years, the Packers have not just been blowing the doors off out the gate. But it seems like each time when the season is on the brink, they're right at the precipice of just falling apart. Aaron Rodgers just comes out and says, hey, relax. Or, hey, we're going to run the table. It doesn't matter what we did these first 4 or 5 games. We're going to run the table from here on out. And it's like he's prognosticating. He says it, and then he makes it happen.
But this is what irritates me about Aaron Rodgers, the aspect of being as great as you are. Why does it take you to have to make this miraculous comeback to show off your skill? Why don't you just from day one, game one, first minute of the game, come in and start putting this pressure on people? I think at a point in time in Aaron Rodgers' career, he got comfortable with being as successful as society called him to be, and not being successful as his skills were requiring him to be. So not going back to practice and harnessing what he was doing. And he lost some stuff, because I'm going to tell you, Randall Cobb has been lost this season for most of the season until this playoff game.
Yeah,
and I feel like he is the key factor for this team because of his X-factor capabilities.
Okay.
Jordy Nelson does very well with Randall Cobb in the game because everybody doubles and triples up and allows Jordy Nelson to have a one-on-one coverage. Mm-hmm. But without without Randall Cobb and having Jordy Nelson, I don't think they would have won that game, and the other way vice versa.
Absolutely not. Absolutely, that would not have happened.
And I give Jordy Nelson all his props for the way he catches, the way he runs routes, and everything like that. But I think that Jordy Nelson, if they were to double team him like they do Randall Cobb, it would have been a lot more of a difficult game for them.
Yeah. And see, and my other takeaway with Aaron Rodgers is just like you were just saying, it's the pressure. I think that at this point in his career, he can't play at his maximum without that pressure. There has to be some form of adversity, something going against him to bring out the best in him, because I absolutely agree with you. The first half of the season, you saw none of this.
Right.
I mean, he wasn't even ranked in the top 25 in the NFL.
No, it took him the last 6 games to get ranked in the top 5. Mm-hmm. But do you think this is the end of Eddie Lacy for that team?
Yeah. Actually, I do. Again, the NFL being a business, one, you get to a point where it's time to turn the page. 2, Eddie is consistently injured. 3, you never know what type of shape Eddie's going to come in at.
I feel like Eddie Lacy is that strange kid on the block that always wants to play sports, and nobody ever really wants him to be around, but we still root for him for some reason for him to do something great so we can be like, kind of, I told you so. And that's what I have done for the past couple of years. I've rooted on Eddie Lacy to be like, I don't care that you're a big dude. You're gonna be great. And every year he's been a let down to me. Every year he hasn't been able to do what I hoped he wanted to do.
Yeah, Eddie to me is like a fake Debo. You know what I mean? You always get a sense that he's coming in and just knock jokers out the box. And every year there's a letdown, be it injury, be it something else. But no, he's out of there this year, man. So when we come back from the break, we're going to jump on today's game. We're going to talk about those Patriots. And we're going to get into a little bit of those Texans when we come back from the break. It's the Culdesac on the Hottest Live. I'm coming